Hello everyone, my name is Carly Krogan and I am here at the Canadian School of Natural Nutrition in their beautiful kitchen to teach you how to make some kid-friendly recipes. All the recipes that I'll be talking about are in the 12 ingredients or less a recipe a day calendar by Renew Nutrition. And the recipe I'm going to be making right now is the no-bake chocolate cookies. So all that we need is some honey, and some coconut. I will put all of the quantities and everything that you need in the description below. You're going to need a little bit of oil, some almond butter, whatever kind is your favorite, some raw almonds. It's easier if you get them sliced already, but whole is just fine. And then the best part is some chocolate chips. So I'm first going to just start by melting my chocolate. So I'm going to put it on the stovetop here. Okay. And the very first thing that's going to go into the pot is our oil. Next, followed by our chocolate chips. You can use any kind of chocolate chips you like best. I definitely recommend dark chocolate chips for this recipe, but for this one, I just had milk chocolate, so that's what I'm going to use. Right, we're going to use the whole bag. Give that a quick stir. And I'm also going to add my honey. I love that this kitchen is well equipped with everything that I need to make this recipe already. I'm going to just set that dish aside for now. And now, while I wait for my chocolate to melt, I'm going to chop my almonds. Like I said before, almonds, you can get them sliced already at the grocery store pretty easily and pretty inexpensively, so that's really nice. Whoops. And this recipe calls for about a cup, so I'm just going to chop these up. And if any children are following along with this recipe, make sure you have an adult to supervise, of course, while you're chopping, if you're chopping, and while, of course, you're using the stove top. So I'm just being extra cautious to make sure that my chocolate doesn't burn. So the best way to keep an eye on it is just to stir it often. Almonds are really great because they are full of fiber, fat, and protein, and that combination is great to keep our tummies full for much longer. So it's the best combination. Also, almonds are really high in vitamin E, and vitamin E is a fat-soluble nutrient, so that means that it requires fat to be properly absorbed. So it's really nice that almonds also have that fat to help absorb the vitamin E, which is the nutrient inside the almond. Nature is really good that way. Oftentimes foods that do contain fat-soluble nutrients, which is vitamin A, D, E, and K. Often those sources, not all the time, but a lot of the time, they do already contain fat in them. So it makes it much easier to be digested by most animals. And of course, that includes people. My chocolate is almost melted, not quite yet, but soon. All right. These are looking nice and chopped. These do tend to take a little bit longer to break down, so that's definitely why I recommend, if you have some sliced almonds available to you, to just use those instead. All right, these are all nice and chopped up. Whoa. So I'm gonna add them to my pot here. Perfect. And I'm gonna combine that with my chocolate. Oh, it smells so good. All right, and next thing I'm gonna add my coconut, my cup of coconut. You can use any coconut that you like to use best. Shredded coconut is the way to go for this recipe, but I mean, you can use sweetened or unsweetened or fancy or any kind that you really like or that you can find at the store. This looks so good already. Right, and then the next thing I'm gonna do is add some almond butter. So my almond butter is a little bit not mixed. So I'm just gonna give it a good mix so that we get the good stuff. And my recipe does call for half a cup of almond butter, but I'm just gonna eyeball it to see how much more liquid it looks like my cookies need. And they're looking pretty good, so I'm probably gonna add just like, we'll start with 1 really heaping tablespoon. Right, just stirring that all together so it's nice and combined. This kitchen smells so good right now. I love it in here. It's so beautiful and everything is so shiny. I think we're good on the almond butter. All right, I'm gonna turn off my heat now. All right, so now that my cookies are a thick texture here, I am going to place them right onto my cutting board to put into the freezer next. I do recommend using a cookie sheet and some parchment paper if you have it laying around, but if you'd like to be a little bit more environmentally friendly, a cutting board works just as good and it's one less dish, so who doesn't love that? So I'm just gonna put the cookies in cookie shape evenly on my cutting board. Okay. And next, I'm gonna set them right into the freezer. want to be really careful on this part that you don't spill